types of snow cones. Not today. Today we're going to start with one and see how we like it. I love Lee too. Thank you, Lee. And is my mama watching, Judy? I didn't see her. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, when Lee's here, we brainstorm, and it's always good stuff. So we had a really good brainstorming session today, and I ended up with snow cones. Thank you, Cheryl, for the stars. So I just sketched. I actually sketched on a canvas, and then I made it too small. So I decided to just grab another canvas, and I sketched it right on the plastic. But before we get started, I think I'm going to transfer it to my paper. I'm going to do that with you guys. So here's what we're going to do real quick. If you are a member of the Shatter Circle, thank you, Donna. If you're a member, one of the perks of being a member of our private membership art group is that you get tracers and hey Angela, welcome. As a member, you get tracers, downloadable tracers, and the color lists inside the group for anything I do on any page. Whether it's this one or on a friend's page, maybe on Lee's page, something like that. So real quick, I'm gonna make my little tracer for my friends over in the membership. Because I just sketched this right on the plastic. So we are gonna make them a tracer. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. So that they don't have to worry about sketching. They can just print this and use this. Thank you, it's kind of pinky. And I went back to my sparkly ring fingers. So now they don't have to worry about having to sketch that themselves. They'll have that they can download and print to use as a tracer. So that is a perk as a member. Okay, so we are going to give this a nice background, but I think before we do that, I am going to go ahead and trace on. It's going to be a lime. We're going to do a green snow cone with a lime, and then I'm going to make a green snow cone with a lime, a red snow cone with a strawberry, a yellow snow cone with a lemon, and I may make one more. I can't remember what other color, a blue one. So I'm gonna make like a little series of 4 snow cones. So they may not all be live, but I'll do my very best. This is an 8 by 10. Thanks for asking, Becky. Let me put that up here so that everybody will know. Forgot to do that. So this is an 8 by 10 canvas that we are working on. And thank you for sprinkling and letting your friends know that we're here playing today. That is very much appreciated. So I am going to grab just a little piece of tape, and I'm going to tape that down in place where I want my snow cone. And probably should just sketch this. It would be quicker. But I want you to see the whole process. Yes, snow cones are perfect in this heat, aren't they? It's too much hotness, too much heat. Okay, so once I get my graphite paper underneath my tracer, you can use an ink pen or you can use a stylus to trace on your image. So I'm just gonna follow my little triangle. I'm trying not to press too hard so I don't get a bunch of black on my canvas, but we are gonna paint the background. We'll do our little lime, and you're gonna love what we're doing with our lime. I'll show you that real quick. Get this off. Put that over there. Put this away. So I bought some bottle rings off of Etsy. So they are literally wine bottle rings. And I just broke a couple of them that we are gonna use for our lime, and I can't decide which one I like. So I'm going to decide that later. So thank you, Charlotte, appreciate that. Becky, you're not late, we're just getting started. 8 by 10, and we're gonna start with this plain white canvas, and I am going to first paint my snow cone white. Okay, we are gonna add a little more color to that just so it pops, but I'm gonna go ahead and just put a coat of white in that little snow cone paper area. Then we're gonna paint our background with a little white and blue. Then we'll get to the fun part and start on the snow cone. So let's get this party started. Let me get a plate. We'll get a little plate. And we're gonna put some white. Ugh, I made a mess with that. And I'm just real quick gonna just get a coat of white. This is one of those snow cones that's in the little white snow cone paper that always fails you unless you eat your snow cone really fast and starts dripping out the tip. So we are gonna paint that. And you'll be able to tell more once we start on the background. Thank you, Lois. Hey, Cynthia, I'm doing good. How are you? So, guys, I don't know if you guys have been following my closet saga. So while I'm painting this, I'm gonna tell you a little story. So I posted that I bought this little wallpaper mural. It's like these flowers that were so colorful and pretty. And I was going to use that to decoupage, or it was like one of those peel and stick wallpapers. And I was gonna use that to cut apart and put on the fronts of the drawers in my little chest that is now in my closet. I've been remodeling my closet since I moved in, bit by bit by bit. But once I got it out of the box, it came over the weekend. I can't remember exactly what day. But once I got it out of the box, I realized there was no way on earth that I could use that mural, because the flowers were literally 2 feet big. They were like 2 feet across. And if I cut it down into drawer size, I'm gonna put a little bit of this blue, which is Indian turquoise. If I cut it down for the drawers, you wouldn't even be able to tell it was flowers. I had no earthly idea it was going to be that large. So I'm gonna grab a bigger brush too. So instead, I just used that mural, and I'm gonna use that mural somewhere. It's like 5 foot by 6 foot, and it is fantastical. I'm gonna start up here, and I'm gonna go around my snow cone, and I'm gonna work in sections with my white. Hang on, I have to hold my mouth right while I do that. So I'm gonna use it somewhere, maybe in my office. I may mount it on a hard canvas and use it as art. But instead, I just used it as inspiration and painted, and we'll go into my blue a little, and painted a flower art onto the wall instead of using it on the drawers. Now that was a little more blue than I really wanted. I'm gonna grab a little bit more white. So I'm a little disappointed that I'm not gonna be able to use that, but I love it so much, so I am gonna incorporate it somewhere in my house. And I have to admit, painting those big old flower blooms on the wall above the chest was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to show you. I think I showed a sneak peek in my reels, and I'm waiting on getting my knobs on my chests before I give you the big reveal. I did finally start putting my clothes in. Thank goodness, because I was literally living out of boxes. So I grabbed a little bit more blue. I'm gonna hit that one side and around, and I'm gonna fade that out a little. It was a little more blue than I wanted, but that's okay, we'll deal with it. We'll survive. All right, I'm gonna turn it this way and do the other side. I'm gonna paint it white first. That helps, painting it white first helps me get the color I want. It helps minimize the, the canvas. These canvases are so thick and kind of crunchy lately, and they're grabby with colors. So I'm gonna use the white to kind of minimize that color grab. All right, so I'm gonna get a little bit on my brush. And again, I'm just gonna come right up alongside my cone. And I'm just gonna work it out. So we have a little bit of color, blend it out, but not overbearing. So let's do that last little cone. Upside down, it looks like an elf, like we're painting an elf. All right, we'll get some blue on, and then we are gonna dry this and be done. All right, I'm gonna rinse this off. Gosh, it should. I've moved a lot recently in the last couple of years, and I always take my stuff with me. I think as long as it's not sitting in a hot van for like a month, you should be fine. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm gonna take a little bit of white. All right, now I'm gonna hit this with a heat gun, and I have something to show you guys. Fun City. So y'all know I've been using this little baby heat gun for a couple years now. It's just some cheap little heat gun that I bought off of Amazon just for like $12 or $14. But I upgraded, and I got a grown-up heat gun, and it is super strong. And I'm gonna use that to dry my canvas real quick. It's really fancy. It was like 50 bucks, I think. And this sucker gets hot. Well, Sherry, I can't wait for you to show that piece to us. This dries so fast. Look at that, y'all. There's a little bit of wet right there. This is some serious heat. This is called a Seek 1 heat gun, 1800 watts. And it comes with a couple of different tips. And that booger is hot. So be careful with that too. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I wanna decide, I think I'll paint my snow cone first. We're gonna paint this with a couple of different colors of green, and maybe a little yellow. We'll go from dark to light, because you know how it is. When you get a snow cone, all that wonderful juice starts running down to the bottom, and it's always darker and then lighter here. So we're gonna treat it just like a normal snow cone. And once I get it painted, we'll decide which lime we're gonna use. This one or this one. I don't know, we'll decide. And then we'll add a little bit of color to our little cone handle, maybe a little bit of green, a little bit of this blue, just to throw in a little color and make it dirty, because no snow cone cup is super clean. So let's start with I'm gonna put a couple of greens. I have two greens, a light and a dark. This is avocado and grass green. These, Jessica, these are bottle rings. They're like wine bottle rings that I bought these on Etsy, and it's just a full circle, and I just nipped out a hole so that it could be on the snow cone, not a full circle. So you can find these on eBay and Etsy, and I tried cutting them myself for a long time, and I just don't have the patience for that. So I just buy them when I can find them. There's a little something going on there. But that is a bottle ring, like a wine bottle ring. So let's start with a little bit of this grass green. We'll put a little bit of that on our plate. I think, maybe not. Let's try it this way. It's clogged up. Let's see what we can do here. It's got a problem, so let's see if we can solve it. It's got a plumbing clog. It might not be any good. Hang on, let me, look, it's gooey. So let me see if this has any paint in it that's not completely dry. It does, just barely. Hang on. Let's see if we can get some out. If we can't, we'll get another. Whoa, I think we got some out. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in that later and shake it up. Hey, Texas. And we'll freshen that up a little. And now I'm gonna use this dark green as well. That'll give us a variety of color for our snow cone. A little bit of lemon yellow. Hey, Desiree. I need to go paint shopping, I guess, because it seems like all my colors are trying to dry up on me. Okay, so I'm gonna use this smaller brush. It's maybe 1/4 inch. I'm gonna tilt this a little bit this way. I'll put this back here because I'm messing y'all up. And I'm gonna start with my dark green and then kind of blend up dark to light. So I'm gonna start down at the bottom. And this is probably not the best green, but we're gonna put glass on top. So it's just to help show some color. Add a little bit of yellow to it, it's kind of icky. I don't want to get in my lime yet because I want to decide first which size I'm going to use. Just getting that curve of the snow cone cup. Who? All right, so there's my darker color. Now I'm gonna just dip in to the grass green, blend up. We'll go around. I'm gonna get, oops, that was the wrong color. I'm gonna get around about halfway up or more. And I'm not trying to be perfect on the edges because I don't want a perfect shape. Dadgummit, I did it again. I need to get out of that color and get it away from me. So this is like a Margarita snow cone. We're gonna add a little lime to it. I'm gonna actually add a little bit of white. So it looks like it's kind of textured. So it's not flat. I'm gonna get a little yellow, and then we're gonna move it around a little. I'm gonna leave all that paint on my brush. Oh, Elizabeth, I was at my sister's on 4th of July, and we just kind of laid in the pool the whole day. So that's why I get tan really quick, really easy. So I'm just gonna blob in a little bit of this white. Just so it's not flat, not a flat color. Kind of looks more like snow cone if it's not flat. All right, and remember, if you're doing this too, don't worry too much about it. I tend to overdo just because that's who I am. But we're gonna be putting glass on the greens part, so, you know, it's be all right. I'm gonna get a little bit of yellow, just for fun. And watch this, y'all, I can't help myself. I'm gonna get a teeny bit of that blue. If you know me at all, you know I can't help it. If there's blue on my palette, it's going somewhere. Hey, oh, ho. Glad you're here. All right, so now we have to make lime decisions. Actually gonna get a tiny bit. Not digging this green, but that's all right. Somebody's having a fit outside, honking. All right. While we're thinking about the lime, we are gonna just add a little bit of color to our snow cone cup. So I think I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna put another quick layer of white on so that whatever color we decide to use is not gonna be like in your face. And I already picked up some green and some little paint boogies. So we'll get rid of that. Yuck, 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 yuck. So I'm gonna do this one side. Let's see. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of color. So if you had a green snow cone, you would of course dip it into that pale green. You'd of course have some green drippage down your cone. We'll throw a little yellow in too, just for fun. All right, I can't help it. I gotta have some of this blue. So I think what I'm gonna do, I just mixed it with a little bit of white, and I'm still using that dirty brush. I haven't taken any of that color off. So I'm just gonna kind of go underneath. That's kind of not strong enough. I need something with a little more depth because it's like the snow cone is running away. It's drowning out the cup. Let me try. I'm gonna try a little bit of a lighter color. This is vintage white. I'm gonna get a drop of that and a little bit of this raw umber. Just as per usual, flying by the seat of my pants, making decisions on the run. All right, so I'm gonna get just the tiniest bits of this brown on the corner of my brush. You can see how little, okay? Then I'm gonna go back and forth to kind of blend that into my brush. And I'm gonna come around the top of the cup. And my brush was not wet enough, so let's try that again. A little dip. We're gonna come around. And we're going to just futz. The glass is going to hide a lot of, well, I'm not putting glass down at the bottom, but let's do a little blue. I'm just going to play till I like it, so y'all bear with me. I think I'm going to throw in another color, which is going to be a little bit of orange. How you feel about orange today? This may be a disaster, but we'll see. I'm going to throw in a little bit of white too. Yeah. Not bad. Looks better in person than it does on the screen, I promise y'all. Yeah, the blue is spectacular. I'm actually going to get a little bit more of it. And we're going to throw a little bit of it on this side as well. All right, I'm done futzing with that. We need to make a decision. We're gonna do a little line work on this too, but we need to make a decision about our lime. So, because I need to kind of paint it out a little bit. So I'm thinking, I like this big one, but it's really too big. I would need to paint out the whole lime. I can do that, it's not a big deal. But I'm also kind of digging this one where it meets both edges of the snow cone. Can you see that? I would have to kind of paint that out. So big or small? Big one, we'll have to work out the details. But big one or small one? I don't know. I'm kind of digging the small one. It makes more sense to me, I think. So, and it kind of lines up with the, I'm going to use this pencil to mark it. It kind of lines up with the, what we've done so far. So here's what I'm going to do. Hang on. We're going to do, I can't decide. I'm going to start with the lightest green that I have, but I think I'm going to add, I'm going to mix a little up with white. So I'm just going to scoop out some of this grass green and blend it in over here with the white to get myself a little bit of a lighter green. Just use the colors on our plates. And I'm going to just kind of base coat that out around. We're going to add a little bit of that yellow, some whites, and we're going to let this dry a little. That's going to be cute. Look, that will be super cute. So I'm going to get a liner brush. Just this little skinny one. Hey, Jerry. And I'm gonna get some more white. I'm gonna load that brush up. And I'm gonna come just on the inside of the outside ring. I'm just gonna come around with that white. I probably should let that dry a little bit, but it's gonna be fine. Just on the inside. Bang. Now we're gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna get that darker color. I'm gonna add a little bit of this bright green in it too. See if I can get a nice green. We're gonna go around the outside. There we are. Now that is where our little thing is gonna go, so we're not gonna stress on that too terrible much. Let me get a little bit more white, fix this just a smidge. Now I'm gonna pull up some of this yellow, still with my little dirty brush, and I'm just gonna add some of this yellow, just dab it in around your line. And again, this is just fun art, y'all. This doesn't have to be perfect. Give yourself grace. Now we need to make our little lines where like our sections are. Lori, I found that that stencil is on Etsy. If you do it there, if you do a search on Etsy, I think it's Homestead Designs is the name of the people who I bought it from. I'm pretty sure it's Homestead. I'm gonna dry this real quick. I gotta do something with that too. I'm not happy with that. So I'm gonna take some white on my brush, my little pointy brush, and I'm gonna make, okay, so it would be in the middle, trying to do this right, y'all. So if this was the middle, then it would be like pie-shaped little whites lines, right? And they don't have to be perfect. Nothing I do is perfect, I can promise you that. Same brush. Going into, let's see, I think I'm gonna go into the grassy green again. And just make just some little blobs. Some little marks so that everything's not the same color. All right. This cone cup is killing me. I'm gonna take it back down to a little bit more white. So I'm basically gonna get a little water on my brush and go into my white with a really damp brush and try to come back over the top of this with like a wash and take some of that color back because I am not crazy about that. Get some more water. Cheryl, I buy mine at the store, the Master's Touch Pens. I buy them at the store and I always buy them individually. If you go to Hobby Lobby, you should be able to buy a 3-pack too. And I would wait till Master's Touch is on sale. Still not totally loving this. I'm not sure what I want to do to it. So I think we're gonna dry it. We're gonna do some line work and see if we like it better. Isn't this cute? So let me give you a close view. There is our little cup cone. So let me grab my, where's my pins? Where are my pins? I took them home to do, I think I have a new pack. I took them home to do that, those flowers on my wall, but I believe I have, see, here's how they come. I can't remember who asked that, but yeah, maybe so, a little orange. This is a 3-pack and it's $7.99 and it comes with the 1, the 3, and the 5. So I got this online. Yes. Yes, that would be cute. Or summertime or something. I'm gonna go off the rails for a sec, y'all. Off the rails. If this is good, we'll talk about it. If it's bad, we will pretend it never happened. Okay. That might be something that should have never happened. All right. I'm just gonna. This is why it's fun, right? All right, we're gonna dry this and do our line work before I make a total mess. Before I ruin it all. Like this. Watch this. We're just gonna futz until it's like, okay, let's stop. Oh, I'm sorry, the purple is eggplants. All right, I'm gonna quit. It's not getting any better. Sometimes you just have to give up the ghosts. All right, so let's dry it real quick, unless somebody has any ideas. It'll look better once we get the glass on. All right, let's use one of these pens. We're gonna do a little bit of line work. I'm gonna start with my line, even though most of this is not gonna show because this is gonna be like right here. I'm gonna line it out anyway, just because. We'll do our so I'll show you what this looks like close up. Not fancy at all, just kind of defining, you know. So we're gonna go around the cup or the snow cone a little. Glass is probably gonna be covering most of this, but we're gonna do it anyway. We'll do a line down, a line down. We're gonna do a couple lines, and a couple dots, and we're gonna be done. What do you say? Isn't that cool? Okay, not 100% fond of this, but it'll be okay. We're gonna carry on. So the first thing we're gonna do is add our green glass. Now, if you want all of this to show through, we could probably just add some Starfire. This is big old fat Starfire, I think. This is 1/2 inch. Or you could add just green. A lot of this color would kind of disappear because of the color in the green glass. So I think I'm gonna use Starfire so that we maintain the color of the snow cone. So let's just start by getting some of these monster pieces out. Wish the glass company I used would cut it out. Do a little bit better job. I'm gonna go ahead. Here's what I'm gonna do to keep my green thing in place is I'm gonna take a tiny bit of glue. This is Aleene's clear tacky glue. And I'm just gonna go around the rim. We're gonna sit this here where it's supposed to be, which will also help us not put glass in that area. So let's, whoa, Nelly. See what's mixed in too is these huge chunks. What is happening? I like my baby chunks. So let me pull this out, these great big pieces. It looks so much better to me when they're little. And what you'll see, if you're new here, you'll see that once we add the resin, all the color will pop underneath the glass, and hopefully it's going to look like a delicious snow cone. We'll add a few little nuggets here and there. Add some around this lime. This is a grown-up snow cone, Margarita flavored. Let's find some little baby pieces for the outside edge. Kind of trying to pick and choose because there are some big nuggets in here that I don't want. All right, I think we're good. Now, we're gonna mix up some resin and see what happens. I know it looks like a hot mess right now, but you're gonna see. Lee, do you remember how clean my desk was when you left? Not so much anymore. It is a hot, stinking mess. Okay, let's put this one aside. So I'm just gonna make 1 ounce of resin. Before I do, I'm gonna grab my little blocks to elevate so we don't have a problem if we get a little excessive on the resin. All right, can we still see this? Thumbs ups. Now you want whatever you're using to be tucked up under there a little bit so that if you have resin that drips over the side, it does not stick your resin to the table. Lord have mercy, I'm having a hard time with words today. Thank you, Catherine. Now I'm reusing these gloves, so I'm turning them back inside out, blowing into them so they do the right thing. Oh yes, we're gonna do popsicles too. We're gonna have some summertime fun. Me and Lee already discussed popsicles. Look what I just did, y'all. Is that not a mess? Well, that didn't work out. Let's try this one. Yeah, there we are. Let's get another one. Yeah, there we go. So you'll see once we pour the resin, all those colors will pop right back out. Let me get some cups. So I'm gonna mix 1 ounce. So I'm gonna mark my cup at the 1/2 ounce line. Oh, a 3 scoop ice cream cone, fantastical. So we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of, whoa, 1/2 ounce of resin and 1/2 ounce of hardener. Let's put the top back on this because I'm habitually not and ruining my markers. Okay, so I use art resin. It's a 2-part epoxy. It is made specifically for artwork, made in the USA, non-hazmat resin. So we're gonna do a 1/2 ounce. I know I'm risking everything by doing it on the canvas, but I promise to be careful. So let me see. We'll do 1/2 ounce. Woo. All right. We'll move that one over here. Now we do the resin. Whoops, look, the top was still on. Hang on. We'll do. Ooh, perfect. So we have a 1/2 ounce of each. Hey, Darlene, see you later. I'm gonna grab my little silicone applicator and I'm gonna, this is too much because if I poured these together in one of these baby cups, there's not enough stir room. So we need to use a bigger cup. So I'm just gonna use this 8 ounce, I think that's 8 ounces. A little 8, oh, it's a 16 ounce. I don't have an 8, let me see. I need some smaller cups. I'm just gonna pour all my resin and hardener into this cup. It'll be super easy to mix out here. So we'll dump that. And we'll dump this. So next week starts Christmas in July. We are going to do a couple of really fun Christmas things, and we're gonna have a really quiet email Christmas in July special. So if you were interested, are we ready to go, Catherine? I'm gonna go ahead and start. If you're interested in joining our membership group where we do this all month, make sure you're on our wait list because we're going to be sending out just via email some Christmas in July offers for our membership. So we're pretty excited about that. It's not going to be a full-blown let's do it, just kind of a quiet little Christmas in July thing. So we're going to do a couple of fun art projects. Then we're going to get back to summertime fun. Because before you know it, it's going to be time to do fall art, like really fast. Got to get ahead of the game. I've seen people already doing Christmas and fall, so I'm like, ah. So you're gonna stir this for 3 minutes. I'm scraping the bottom and the sides really well as I go. so that I make sure it's all mixed really nicely. Hey Gladys, how have you been? Thank you, Catherine. We also, I gotta tell you too, our goal was today to have this started, or available, but I think it's going to be tomorrow. We have a special fall kit that we are going to be releasing this week. It's a pumpkin and sunflower art kit that you'll buy the kit that has all the things you need except paint. And the videos on creating a cute little art piece, I cannot wait to share that with you. It's going to be so much fun. People love the kits, and I struggle with them, not because I don't want to make them. It's just that my studio is so small, and doing kits takes up a tremendous amount of space, and it's a lot of expense for maybe you'll sell them all. So Catherine, if you want to be part of Christmas in July, just hang out here. We're going to start next Wednesday, and right here on this page, if you want text notifications for when we are live, you can text us. Catherine is going to put up that number. I just feel it in my bones. You can text me, "Hey Cindy," at 901-519-2923. And we will, thank you, Catherine. We will let you know every time we go live. Thank you, Catherine. I got you. So I'm just going to go ahead and start drizzling. I like to drizzle on my glass first. That way I know that I have enough resin for everything. So I'm going to drizzle on my glass. I should have done green and then clear, but hindsight and all, it'll be all right. So I am drizzling all over my snow cone to make sure all the glass is covered, because that is the main priority. Is getting that glass covered. I'm going to come over here and make sure that little ring is done. I'm a little all over the place today for some reason. Get inside our lime. And now I'm going to move this around a little. Get a little more in there. I kind of got it pretty thick right there. So I want to be super generous. And now I'm going to take the rest of the resin and we're going to spread that all over the rest of the canvas. So let me scoop that out. And I think we got it all. Yeah, these applicators are awesome because you can just wipe them off and reuse them instead of using paint sticks and such that you just kind of have to toss after a time or two. These you can use, basically if you're me, you can use them a couple of times till you forget to wipe it off, and then you have a big blob of resin. A lot of times that big blob will peel off, but if you do it 20 times like me, then you have to get a new one. Because I'm a mess. Hot mess. All right, let me get some that resin out of there. So I'm basically just spreading, using my little applicator to spread the resin around all over the rest of my canvas. Got a lot sitting in that ring, so I'm going to try to pull some of that out. So this was 1 ounce total resin for the 8x10. Now I'm going to use my hand. I'm going to try to get all that off there. And for now, I'm just going to wipe this off with my paper towel. Nice and clean. And I'm going to use my fingers to kind of make sure I covered all the spots, especially right on that edge. Get out of there. Dig out a little bit of that. It's pooled in there because it really didn't have anywhere to go. Oh, there's a Cindy hair too. You don't want that in there. So you can see with the clear glass, with the dark at the bottom and the light at the top, you were able to get that reflection of those colors underneath. If we had used the green glass, it would not have been, it wouldn't have been as, you wouldn't have been able to see the detail as much. So let me just look at this real quick. Make sure everything looks covered. Looks good to me. Now we're gonna use my new fancy super duper heat gun to pop the bubbles. Now you don't have, I sometimes use a torch, like a propane torch, but you can use, oh, that's still warm, by the way. You can use a heat gun, like this big old monster, or I'm gonna take the tip off. Or you can use a smaller one, which is really affordable. This is like 14 bucks. Or you can even use a kitchen torch, like one of those creme brulee torches. And what we're gonna do is just pop over the top of this with a little bit of heat. We're not gonna go really close. We're gonna stay far away just to pop any of the bubbles that may have been created when we were stirring. And no, you cannot weigh this resin, Nancy. This is by volume only. But whatever resin you use, make sure you read the directions because they're all different. But this resin is only measured by volume. All right, so let's turn this on and let's pop our bubbles. This is very satisfying. You can actually see them pop. And it's super awesome to watch that happen. Let's go over our glass. And we are done. Now be super careful not to touch this, okay? This is gonna be hot for a little while. Thank you, Angela. This is gonna be hot for a little while. That's metal, and we just blew out some serious heat, so don't touch that. But I'm gonna pick this up and give you a close-up view of our green snow cone. Is that not cute? Let me give you a close-up of the cone itself. Love it, our little lime. Super cute. Yes, Mickey, a hair dryer would work. You want it to be low air pressure and high heat. So the lowest air setting and the highest heat setting. Donna, it does not, I think the torch works the best. That is just my opinion. But I'm very used to using a torch, so that's funny, Tracy. So that's just kind of my preferred tool, but I'm trying to kind of get away from the torch. That's why I've been like buying heat guns to see which one I really like. So, but there is our snow cone. Is that not cute? It is lime, Tina. and proven by the line that is on the side. So there is our first snow cone.